Welcome back. My name is Eric Forsetter. I'm the host of EQ Video Tip. Today's lesson is a great one. We're at the second part of our series on how compassion builds better companies. Before we jump in, let's review the goals of EQ Video Tip. So welcome back. Last episode, we talked to the first half of Jeff Weiner's speech, How Compassion Builds Better Companies. We're going to jump in today and talk a little more about that speech and get the second half of it just after this. So let's jump in to the first tip. The next tip, missing trust. But really, it's not about missing trust. It's about earning trust, because the long term of a company and the value it has is based on the quality and the decision making that occurs within it. And it's hard to make decisions faster when people in the company lack the trust in one another. Creating the right culture creates the right competitive advantage. And in doing so, you have to have a compassionate ethos. Your leadership has to understand one another, and they have to understand and create a culture where people take the time to understand another person's perspective and not assume a nefarious intention, i.e. earn trust or build trust. And when you do something like that, then the shared mission becomes much more achievable. As Jeff likes to put it, after nearly 10 years, he celebrates the fact that they can make important decisions in a matter of minutes or sometimes hours that some companies will debate for weeks and probably months. Create the culture, earn trust, and you'll have that competitive advantage. The next piece of Jeff's speech talks about career advice. And in working throughout his career, he's noticed that there are intelligent, resilient, committed people who are out there that are just not as privileged as everyone else. They've had qualities forged to them by overcoming a lifetime of adversity that many of us couldn't even fathom. And Jeff says, even hiring people like that and watch them flourish, it's become clear they don't need handouts, they just need a hand, like all of us at some point in our career. What does that mean for us? It means we want to have the ability to try other people in our company, in our lives, and give them the opportunity to accelerate their growth. As technology and as innovation starts to accelerate more than ever, we have to be wary and be mindful of the unintended consequences of our actions and not just remain fixated on maximizing profit or shareholder value. We have to keep in mind not just what we're trying to accomplish, but how we're trying to accomplish it. And that's very important, because we increasingly need to put ourselves in the shoes of someone receiving the new end of technologies and those who might benefit from them. That's his career advice. The other piece that he says, and we'll sum that up very quickly, is we need to make sure we take time with our families and our loved ones. And it's important that we don't overemphasize on work or on hiring people or on just life in general and forget about the loved ones in our families and in our homes. That's an important piece that he focuses on as well. So his career advice, make sure you spend time with their loved ones and families, but also make sure that we give everyone an equal opportunity. The last piece of Jeff's speech, the common mistake. Think about what you accomplished and who got you there, whether it's your parents, your family, your loved ones, your spouse. And people make what Jeff calls the common mistake, taking the people we're closest to for granted by assuming they're the ones we don't need to make an effort with. Nothing could be further from the truth. Take that extra day or take extra time in everyone's day to give your loved one a hug, a thank you, I want to spend time with you, to ask them, how was their day? What are they doing? Understand and show compassion to how they're feeling. Those little things add up. And again, that applies not only to your family and loved ones, but also to your colleagues. It's not about the what, it's about the how. And making sure that we're dealing with people with compassion, whether it's your family or your friends or your colleagues will open up your career. Don't fall into that trap of the common mistake of taking those people for granted. That concludes this week's double feature episode. We hope you enjoyed. It's a lot of information. We're going to give you a quick recap and again, apply what you think is best for you to make yourself more compassionate and help build your career. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.